However, this engineer is also a science fiction writer. He works as an engineer during the day and writes science fiction novels at night, and has been writing like this for more than 10 years. Although Liu Cixin has published many works before, these works cannot be compared with the three-body problem in terms of volume and depth. Any point in the three-body problem, any story can be used as the core content of general science fiction, which is like practicing Shaolin's 72 stunts after Liu Cixin. Before writing, he would use 1 or 2 stunts at most, but when he wrote about the three-body problem, he actually used 72 stunts at the same time, accumulating a lot of money. So let's take a look together. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. In order to make the whole story clue clearer, here I will tell the stories of the two people separately. First of all, let's listen to Yi Wenjie's story. In the 60s of the 20th century, the protagonist Yi Wenjie, a student at Tsinghua University, had just experienced a great misfortune, and his father, who was an authority on physics, suffered misfortune. He witnessed his mother accusing his father of alleged crimes, and watched his father be beaten to death by his students. Add punctuation marks at the end of each sentence. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. As a result, life has undergone a key change. The mysterious Hong'an base is on a mountain deep in the Daxing'an Mountains, and the base has a huge butterfly-shaped sky. What exactly does the red dark base do? As Yi Wenjie gradually penetrated into the core work, he discovered that the real task of the original mysterious red dark base was to do. This is the exploration of extraterrestrial civilizations, and that huge antenna is the instrument that emits radio waves into the universe. However, at that time the technological level of human beings was still very backward. Add punctuation marks at the end of each sentence, punctuation marks at the end of each sentence, and punctuation marks at the end of each sentence. To shout in the vast universe, at least stellar energy, that is, sun-level energy, is needed. The sun has the function of amplifying high-frequency radio wave signals, so that the sun can become a trumpet for humans to shout to the universe, with the energy of the sun itself. So, at the risk of emitting radio waves to the Great Red Sun, he made an experimental launch. Radio waves are instantly amplified through the sun and spread to all directions of the universe. Yi Wenjie made history, and he completed human civilization. After that, he continued to stay at the red dark base and spent 8 dull years. After all, radio signals are released at the speed of light at the fastest speed. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. He was on duty and suddenly received a strong reply signal, which was translated into a repeated warning of 4 words in Chinese characters: not to answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Through the time between transmission and reception, Yi Wenjie calculated. The signal can only come from our closest star, the Alpha Centauri galaxy 4 light-years away, which is the closest star to the Sun. Unexpectedly, another civilization that mankind has been searching for is close at hand. Should Yi Wenjie respond to the warning? Don't reply. These 4 words are obviously a dangerous warning, which is not only a matter of survival or destruction of one person, but also a question related to the survival and destruction of all human civilization. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. In the eyes of those who adhere to the ideal of humanitarianism and world unity, the overall civilization of mankind has always been good, at least in the direction of goodness. However, some people also believe that civilization has already changed from good to evil today, and this kind of evil human beings cannot rely on their own efforts. In Yi Wenjie's view, in a big way, human beings are constantly destroying nature and other species. The world has entered the pattern of the Cold War, and nuclear war is casting a shadow of death on the world. In a small way, the ugliness of human nature makes the wife betray her husband. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. So, he replied to the following paragraph. Come here and I will help you gain access to this world. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. We will find that the three-body problem begins in reality, which is like the source of the river, which has a continuous impact on the future river. This is also a writing feature of Liu Cixin, at the beginning of talking about history, reality, irreplaceable, but step by step, her imagination will be added to the story. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. Wang Miao himself is an ordinary scientist who studies nanomaterials, but one day he was suddenly pulled into a very high level. At the meeting, Wang Miao met with officers from all over the world, and they agreed that the world was at war. This puzzled Wang Miao. At the same time, shocking tragedies continue to occur in the scientific community. Many top physicists. Because of the frequent suicides in the scientific community, Wang Miao finally agreed to cooperate with the military and a police officer named Shi Chang. Add punctuation marks at the end of each sentence. Suddenly all the photos taken were the numbers of the countdown. The countdown started at 1,200 hours, then 1,000 hours. No matter how he took it or what camera he used, the countdown always appeared on his photos, and this mysterious power made Wang Miao feel very moved. Add punctuation marks at the end of each sentence, punctuation marks at the end of each sentence, and punctuation marks at the end of each sentence. Observing the starry sky with astronomical equipment can also be seen, and on the scale of the entire universe, the countdown flashes in the starry sky in milliseconds in the form of microwave background radiation. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. He vaguely felt that he could understand why those physicists committed suicide, and perhaps they had encountered similar horrific events that were difficult for science to explain. The scientific truth he pursued all his life collapsed. At the critical moment, Shi Chang, a police officer who had brought Wang Miao to the military meeting before, told him. Shi Chang was worried that Wang Miao would commit suicide like other scientists, so he suggested that Wang Miao play a VR game that has been very popular recently. The three-body game. All signs suggest that the game is related to the recent strange occurrence in the scientific world. So Wang Yu's game. Before entering the three-body game, let me introduce you to a basic setting in the world of the three-body game. This game world is a three-body game. Punctuation marks are added at the end of each sentence, punctuation marks are added at the end of each sentence, and punctuation marks are added at the end of each sentence. Sunrise and sunset. Because there is a constant temperature, the world can be in a stable warm state, and the chaotic era is a complete disaster. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. Add punctuation marks at the end of each sentence. For another example, if 3 suns are far away from the Earth at the same time, the Earth's surface will be very cold, the world will be covered with ice, and humans will not be able to exist. In an even more extreme case, 3 suns are lined up in a row and close to the Earth at the same time, in which the Earth will even be in a high temperature. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. For example, key figures in Western civilization: Galileo, von Neumann, the father of computers, Einstein, etc. They are all full of wisdom in ancient and modern China and abroad. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. The last sun proposed his own model of the universe, which was a huge copper ball that a person could walk into, and this copper ball was simulating the universe. There are many on the same ball. Circular holes of different sizes, light shines in from the outside, and the holes show a circular light. Mosey thinks these holes are what we see. The father of computers, von Neumann, tried to use Qin Shi Huang's 30 million army to simulate the binary system of computers. He let the Qin army. Each person holds a white flag in one hand and a black flag in the other. White represents 0, black represents 1, forming a 36 square kilometer computer motherboard, trying to calculate the operation of the sun in the game, but these different prediction methods all end in failure. Every time, Wang Miao witnessed these civilizations buried in an extreme world. As the game progressed, Wang Miao discovered that there was a reason why the movement of the sun in this game could not be accurately predicted. Because the universe setting in the game is the classic three-body movement problem in the field of physics. What is three-body movement? Simply put, the three masses, initial positions, and initial velocities are all arbitrary celestial bodies, constantly moving under the action of gravitational force between them. The movement situation is very complex, and to this day no one has been able to find the law of the three-body movement, and it can be said that the three-body movement is unsolvable. And in this game world, the Earth is facing such an unsolvable universe, and there are 3 suns in the game world, which interact with each other to make irregular three-body movements. When Wang Miao entered the game for the last time, he saw Einstein sitting under the wall pole, looking lost and desperate. It turned out that people in the game of the three-body problem already knew and wanted to predict. This is probably the most desperate thing in the world. After the game, Wang Miao was invited to participate in the offline gathering of gamers. Unsurprisingly, he discovered that the three-body game was deliberately created by an organization that aimed to allow gamers to participate in the game, in order to find out those who are disappointed in human civilization, because they believe that those who will be addicted to the game of the three-body problem are people who can accept the destruction and rebirth of a civilization. To his like-minded comrades, Wang Miao deliberately concealed his true thoughts and joined the organization through the torture of the organizers. At the global conference of his organization, he actually saw Yu Wenjie. It turned out that Yu Wenjie was the leader of this organization. And the three-body game is not just a game. Remember the alien in the Alpha Galaxy that replied to the Earth signal in Yu Wenjie's story? The three-body game simulates the civilization of Alpha Samsung. The real situation: the story has developed to this point. The 2 clues of Yu Wenjie and Wang Miao finally merged into one. It turned out that after the end of the Cultural Revolution, Yu Wenjie walked out of the Yellow River. With the help of a well-funded friend, he established the three-body organization and planned the three-body game. The three-body organization also established communication between the Earth and the three-body civilization. And the people in the three-body organization were all people who were extremely disappointed in human civilization like Yi Wenjie. They believe that there will be no better future for mankind, and that if it continues as it is, human culture will eventually be built on oppression and destruction. As a result, these like-minded people reached a consensus that since they could no longer do their best for human civilization, they should do their best again. From now on, do your best for the three-body civilization destined to come to Earth. On deck, Yi Wenjie is regarded as the supreme ruler of the Earth three-body organization. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and columns. Important changes are also taking place on the Alpha Samsung of that year. As we have mentioned before, the world in the game of the three-body problem is facing the real three-body civilization. This is such a cruel and harsh living environment, the universe is too cruel to them, and they can only gamble with the universe. And the signal sent by Yi Wenjie made them discover the Earth and find a paradise where life reproduces, so they finally desperately pursued the Earth. Grab the last straw of the Earth and colonize the Earth. They will fly to the Earth in 400 years. On Earth there happens to be an Earth. Since its establishment, the Earth three-body organization has been in contact with the alien three-body world, leaking information about human civilization and accepting information from each other. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and columns. Therefore, he obtained the information content of the connection between the three-body civilization and mankind, and defeated the three-body organization, which regarded humans as enemies, and became an Earth military aircraft. The military joint organization is the top priority at the moment. The military knew that the last meeting of the Earth three-body organization was on a steamship, but they did not dare to launch a rash attack. Once startled, the other party will immediately destroy the hard drive and damage all contact information. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and columns. They already knew that the ship where the three-body organization was meeting would definitely pass through the Panama Canal, and at that time they would use their flying blades to pull out a net. Like the strings of a harp or zither, a net of countless flying blades forms a net, cutting the ship into thin slices from beginning to end, so that the other party not only cannot discover it, and there is no power to fight back, and it will be cut to death without realizing it, while the hard drive that stores the data is safe because the cut of the flying blade is absolutely smooth. Even if it cuts to the hard drive, most of the data can be obtained by repairing it. In front of nanomaterials, the giant wheel is cut like a cake. All the crew members were dismembered and died, and the Earth three-body organization was destroyed, and Wang Miao and the others got the well-preserved information about the three-body civilization, but the difference between the two civilizations shocked everyone. According to the data, the three-body problem has no such emotions as fear, sadness, happiness, beauty, and love. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and columns. The three-body civilization does not have literature and art, and the whole society is in a highly organized and managed state, as if it is a piece of steel. Next, people see the technological differences between the two worlds. It turns out that there is a major difference between the development of the three-body civilization and the Earth civilization. The three-body technology develops at a uniform rate, which means that it takes the same amount of time for the three-body world to move from agricultural society to industrial society and then to the information society. Unlike our Earth, which is developing at an accelerated pace, it will take 400 years for a spacecraft from the three-body world to reach the Earth, and it is likely that the level of human technology will be different at that time. The three-body problem has been crushed, so the three-body fleet will not conquer but destroy, so the three-body problem has put all their efforts into creating a project. The end is to destroy people's belief in science and technology, and they use technology beyond human civilization to launch 2 protons to the Earth, and quality is the quality of wisdom. These 2 protons are microscopic intelligent particles, although small enough to be observed by the human eye, but they can be said to be ubiquitous, completely subverting the power on Earth. It can not only supervise the Earth, but also affect the results of all human physical experiments, so that human scientists' basic belief in physics and science and technology collapses. The three-body man wants to use this method to completely lock the channel for the development of human science and technology to a higher level. And it is precisely because of this that Wang Miao's eyes will show the reality of the countdown to the universe. The mystery of the suicide of those desperate scientists was also revealed, so it became known that the alien three-body man was already staring at humans all the time. In the information obtained by Wang Miao and Shi Chang, the three-body man expressed his disdain and contempt for humans in 5 words, and those 5 words were, "You are bugs." These are desperate 5 words. For the three-body man who has mastered the supernatural and technological, humans may be as vulnerable as insects, but this is the speed of human destiny. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. It was the time when locusts were plagued, and for thousands of years humans tried to get rid of them by all means but in this long war. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns. At this point, the first story of the three-body problem series is finished. The three-body man and the Earthling. The two neighboring cosmic civilizations greet each other clearly. It is believed that the three-body civilization has reached the Earth for 400 years, but the human world has changed beyond recognition, and this is the end of an old era. It is also the beginning of a new era. Whether the three-body civilization has colonized the Earth, and how the Earthlings will deal with this crisis, I will introduce in the next 2 episodes. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, forward, and reward to support Spiegel and .columns.